with the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilman D'Amato?
Here.
Del Ripa?
Here.
Graziano?
Here.
Hudson?
Here.
Doolin?
Here.
Yazdi?
Here.
Okay, we also have our municipal clerk, Brianna Calabro, business administrator, Michael Sondermeyer, and borough attorney, Dawn Sullivan. Okay. This is a meeting pursuant to the provisions of the Opening Public Meetings Law. Adequate notice of this meeting was advertised in the Herald News on April 1st, 2021. Copies were provided to the local media and posted continuously in the municipal building. A copy of this in the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Per state fire code, I am required to acknowledge that there are two emergency exits in this council chambers. The main entrance which you enter through and a secondary exit to the left of where I am seating. If there is an emergency, walk orderly to the exit through the door, down the stairs, and out the building. If there are any questions, please raise your hand. Okay. There are no non-agenda items this evening. Might have a motion to open up early public comment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak, please come up and raise your hand and give us your name and address. Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, report of committees?
I've got a couple. So the first one is the Cannabis Regulatory Commission. So we sent out as part of the materials for this meeting, the recommendation to allow for one micro cultivator. Say micro because that's important. There's a difference between a micro business as well as one of the big players that grows a lot. The recommendations are included within that memo. They include specifics on ordinances that should be considered around noise, smell, light. Those are really the big key items to make sure those are under control and are very clearly spelled out what we would and would not allow. It also talks about taxes, recommendation for 2%. And what I would like to ask of all, if it's okay, to have that sent over to ordinance review so that they can take a look at it.
Okay. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, John.
Outside of that, if I could, for second Friday coming up, our last one is this Friday. So that begins around 5:30, wraps up around 8:30. And then last Town Pride Day, so that's scheduled for the 25th, rain date the 26th. And we had our final meeting to plan out everything last week. Everything seems to be in line. I think we're gonna be okay. I'll just pray for good weather and hope to see you guys there.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah. Let's see, candlelight ceremony at Candlelight Memorial at Sloan Park, 7 o'clock on September 11th. Along with Pride Day, we do have Bob Kochka 5K. And then just looking ahead, paper shredding is October 16th. You have to get there early for that. Health department wise, people can still get tested. You can actually request a home test through Passaic County. Passaic County is still offering testing sites and vaccines. There are booster shots are available. You have to kind of look around a little bit. CVS, I believe, is one that is administering them for the immunocompromised. My understanding is some people, some places are requiring like a doctor's note. Others, they're just, it's word of, your word. And I think that's it.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Do you have the renaming of the county in your list? In
Oh,
yours
I
or
forgot
mine?
about that.
Of the park?
Of the park, yeah.
Yeah, September 17th. Do we have a time yet?
5:30.
5:30.
5:30.
Yeah.
The county's going to come up, and of course, we all want to be there, and whoever's in the public would like to attend up at Friendship Park on Glenwild Ave. They're going to be renaming the park. I believe it's Mayor Dunleavy Memorial Park. And there has been work going up there. It's going to become a dog park, which I think was one of the things on John's agenda to get done along, I think with Dawn, because that was one of your,
Yeah. Well, the front portion will be, but the rest of the park will be
will
as
remain.
is. Yeah.
Yes. So that's the work that's going on up there across from Woodward Ave, which is a nice thing. So anybody wishing to attend that, please do. The Dunleavy family is really looking forward to it, and it should be a nice dedication.
And John, I don't know if we have plans on posting it on Facebook, on town. I don't know if it's there or not.
I think
but-
we're waiting for
I
the
was just
county
gonna
to
say,
come
I
out with
asked the
something.
county, but now we're only 10 days away and I never got, they just said they'd share anything they posted with us. The outreach girl, Nina,
Yeah.
the same one who emails you? But I don't know if it's,
You know what, let
if
me,
we'd recreate our own, I mean,
I really wanted to do that, but I really felt that that'd be
Yeah.
stepping on toes. So let me reach out to Passaic County and just ask them. I'm happy to
one more
make
time
something.
before- okay.
But it really, it's their thing.
Yes,
So
this
for
is-
us to make like a flyer, I felt was a little, or at least, I felt it was a little presumptuous.
Danielle's the clerk, but
There was a guy who called me, who was the clerk.
Lewis, he's the clerk,
Lewis,
he's
he's
the
the one who
clerk
called me.
of the freeholders.
Right, that's who called me, the clerk of the freeholders.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him. I know who he is. So let me send myself a message and I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, right, thanks. Just gotta get the word out.
Okay. All right, just a couple things that I have. I just want to say with the last two storms that we had here, just, I think we need to recognize our, and we'll do it just in comments, how well our DPW worked, came out immediately to start closing streets down. OEM, first, fire department, PD, Mike was out all night addressing issues throughout the town. I think we did a heck of a job that night, and talking to people from other towns around us, how bad they were hit. We did not fare that bad in comparison. We did receive some concerns from residents down in the Flats area and some in other areas that really never had water before. But it was really strange the way that water came in. It came up. Boston Street and Union Ave was closed off like really quick, and it came up about 2 feet above the road. But as fast as it came up, for whatever reason, it disappeared. It went right down. People got water, the usual places they got water. And I'm judging the storm on how well we did, because if you went down and looked behind Sloan Park, if you went behind the car wash or by the bank, or you went down behind the Methodist Church and see how well the culvert did to save a lot of businesses and a lot of homes on that lower end of town, it just worked amazingly. I thought for sure with this last storm, when we were here, when we went down there, we were gonna see water in the park. It didn't happen. Some big logs came down. I mean, stumps like this were in the back that came floating from wherever. That was amazing me. So when the water goes down enough, we'll have our guys go in there and clean that out. But well worth what we put into that flooding project, which made us have a beautiful park. So I think that was well worth it. We saved a lot of money for businesses and the lower residents. And I'm gauging it by my other experience of being at the fire department. If we had a true flooding situation, they would have been out for days pumping basements.
They did one.
It wind up 13.
Mike said one.
13 Van Dam. And then we went to a house on Park. They weren't calling, but we saw the water, so we went to their house to help them. The fire department went there and we helped those people get their stuff. But it was amazing.
And to give everybody, we were just discussing this, and to give everybody an idea on the council who may not understand, when Irene, correct?
Mhm.
When Irene hit, the police department was keeping a log of pump outs. It was pages long of people requesting pump outs.
Mhm.
And we really just had, one request. That's amazing, but I also think that people are preparing a little bit better now than they did before. But still, I mean, the DPW did a phenomenal job. They were super prepared, especially down by me where, Van Dam gets flooded. I mean, they were totally prepared, and but it was amazing to see how fast the water went out.
Yeah.
And I drove down
How did you do?
to Sloan.
How did you do in your house?
we're very lucky because we're literally right outside the flood zone, so we got a couple little puddles, and we have a double sump pump. We had a couple little puddles in the basement, but it really wasn't bad, but Van Dam. But then, like John said, it came in, and it was literally just gone.
Gone. Yeah. And the other thing is Lisa Perry getting the animals out of the shelter, and with the help of DPW and PD, getting them out of there to safety. They did that rather quick and prepared for it, but we were all pretty much prepared before the storm started. I think what people really misunderstand, and going back of years of being on the fire department, when the river goes up the Passaic River goes up, and all that flow comes through from Knowles Road down through Oak, and then wiggles its way around and comes down past the animal shelter. The pipes are below grade. There's no way water's gonna run up. When that river comes up, everything has no place to go backwards. So no matter what we do above the area, it's not going to help because there's nowhere for water to go. But when the river recedes, it goes out really quick. So it's not from those areas being clogged, because I've walked several areas, it's not that, it's just part of living in the flats. It's just, I don't think there's anything we can do. We did go in by Boston Street and de-snag that culvert that's there right outside the thing. We went into it with machines to get that all dug down, so those people would have a fair chance, and that worked fairly well, because the debris didn't get stuck there, as it usually does. But I would just, our Department of Public Works and our first responders did a heck of a job that day, going out. And also, I think we need to thank Mike. He was out here till all hours of the night with them, working with them, and making sure that things were being taken care of, so.
And the
John,
two
is
animal
some-
control officers, too.
Excuse me?
The two animal control
Two animal
officers.
control officers,
There's three of
yes.
them. You mentioned
Yes.
Lisa, but the other two were there that night, and they came back the next day, their salary, and they had off the next day, but they came back and worked at the shelter, getting ready to bring the animals back. Did all
Yeah.
clean up and everything like that, so kudos to those two.
Yeah, it's an amazing commitment they have to our borough.
I was gonna mention, sometimes I drive down the road and I see the big signs, your taxes at work, and when they're paving roads or whatever. Is this something that we should be putting something out there before and after pictures, some of the statements you made, right? If people weren't here, they don't remember Irene, downtown was under 2 feet of water.
Yeah, we
You know,
still
so-
have some amazing pictures
Yeah, I wonder if
that
that's
Mike
something
took,
that's worth-
and Mike probably was with John.
Kind of a, your
I-
taxes at work type of a
But
statement.
Irene, we
This
have
is
a
how
lot of-
well it-
Long story short, I was chief of the department, and we were down the flats for a flooding situation, and we got a phone call that they came through police dispatch, there was a 300-foot wall of water coming from
Oh, gosh.
Upper County.
I remember this.
We went into going to people's houses and pulling people out and getting them out of it, because, and I said, 300 feet of water, it'd be like, just build an ark, let's put animals on it and leave. I mean, it just, it was the wrong information, but the panic that you go into, because you can't control water. You can't control it. I was talking to a chief out of another town today that was on one of the job sites it was on, and he said he's never seen like that, people jumping out of their cars that didn't realize how fast that water's gonna come, so, it's bad. Snow you can control, you can see it, wind you can see it coming, knocks trees down, but the water, when it comes, it's vicious.
Yeah. But I do like that idea of us doing a before and after to really show.
We should.
So
We should.
people can really understand, because there's a lot of people that we have that are new in town that weren't around for the days of Irene
Yeah,
and before.
yeah. I had several conversations with people that moved down into the lower end of town since then, and I just told them, I said, this is the experience I have of what's going on down here. It really hasn't changed much. You're new to town, but it's your first experience with it. But anyway, just thank you to everybody that helped that day. It was great. Okay,
Got a couple of things if
good,
you're done.
sure.
Since the last meeting, we had 3 water main breaks. One was on Park Ave. It was a hole in an old 8-inch pipe. One on Catherine Street was an old 2-inch galvanized line that split. We're probably looking to replace that line next year in 2022. That's from Warren Street to Elizabeth, that section. And then the third one was up on top of Knowles Road and Jeffrey Drive. That was a valve that blew apart, and it was actually hidden under the pavement. They didn't find it until they dug up the pavement and saw the valve sitting there. So we took care of that as well. And you'll see in the consent agenda, we're asking for more money for the sinkholes. We went in with, I think it was 7,500 last time, and it actually came up to close to 14,000. There was a lot more work on Woodlot. We had 3 basins, stormwater basins that were sinking in the ground, so our contractor went up there to replace those 3 basins and the pipes. So we're all back to normal up in Woodlot now. And then just a quick ordinance review committee. I know there's one on there tonight for noise. We've been working on that one at our last meeting, and got it over to Fred Semerel's group, and Dawn put it together speedy for us and got it ready for this meeting tonight. And that's, in a nutshell, really, it's just limiting the hours that a contractor can work in a house and a resident. And the big one was Sundays, no Sundays. We took Sundays off the book for a contractor. Not for residents themselves, they can do whatever work they want to do, but to have a hired contractor come in is no longer going to be allowed, if adopted at the next meeting or the meeting in October. And then we are also working on, we couldn't get it into this one, but it's another add-on to the one we did last time with the facade. We're now going to try and put in there, again, just to try and get us a base level, is permitted materials that we want to see downtown. So we put prohibited, what we don't want to see, but now we added permitted materials. And that'll be on, actually October 5th, it'll be introduced then, that meeting.
So it's getting reintroduced.
Nope, it's a new,
It's
we're
an
going to
amendment to
adopt the
the-
one that's there, and it's going to be amended. We'll introduce another one that's going to change the permitted uses and add permitted as that.
Okay. Anything else?
No, ordinance review is rocking and rolling. I mean, they're committed bunch of guys, people on that committee. And we're looking at the marijuana one. We started that last time. We'll get the new recommendation now, and we'll start putting that together and get it back to the council as speedily as we can.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, real quick, on the preventing contracting work on Sunday, it's, the focus there is to reduce noise, correct?
Correct.
What if somebody, I just thinking this through, what if somebody wanted to have a painter come in, and a painter doesn't make a lot of noise? Or is it going to be a
It's external.
student-bodied right approach?
It's external work.
Just external work, okay.
External contractor work.
Okay.
Well, we had an issue at one of the planning board meetings where we had residents come up and complained about one of the people that were there trying to get something heard at the meeting. And they talked about their quality of life, that they haven't had a weekend in over a year. Every Saturday, Sunday, noise, construction, demo going on at this residence, and they were done with it. They just want it. So that's what drove us into to go this way.
May I make a comment?
Sure.
And just clarification, I think Drew brought up a point that it's only the use of power equipment,
Okay.
so a contract is open. Just no power equipment can be used during those
Got it.
limited hours.
Okay.
So if a painter comes up and he's brushing it on, he's good to go.
Yeah, it sounds like it's.
Yes, all
Right?
day, every day.
As long as
All
he's
day.
not power washing, so if he does that before,
Right.
he'd be okay to come in and actually spray paint, you know,
Okay.
the next day.
That's good, okay.
All right.
How about landscapers? Will it affect landscapers coming in to cut grass?
It will on Sundays. Yep.
Okay. Anybody else? Dawn? Bree?
Nothing this evening.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Okay. Resolution number 2021-9.1 consent agenda. Have a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Tomato,
Yes.
Delariva,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Gassie,
Yes.
Item number 9, second final reading public hearing, bond ordinance number 18-2021, various capital improvements. Public notice, please.
This ordinance was posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News, and copies were made available to the public so that a motion may be made that it be read by title.
Okay. Can I have a motion to read by title?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bond ordinance providing for various 2021 capital Borough of Bloomingdale, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1,970,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,429,000 bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof.
Okay. Motion to open public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Delariva,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Yazdi,
Yes.
Tomato,
Yes. Okay, item B, ordinance number 19-2021, establish chapter 37, 100% disabled veterans. Public notice statement, please.
Yes, this ordinance was posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News, and copies were made available to the public so that a motion may be made that it be read by title.
Motion to read by title.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
An ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, establishing Chapter 37 of the Borough Code to establish Article 1, 100% disabled veteran tax refunds.
Motion to open a public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Yazdi,
Yes.
Tomato,
Yes.
Delariva,
Yes.
Okay. Introduction of new business. Introduction of bond ordinance number 21-2021, amending bond ordinance 19-2020 to increase section 20 cost. Motion
So
for
moved.
introduction?
Second.
Okay. All in
Bond-
favor?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Aye.
There you go.
Aye.
Bond ordinance amending bond ordinance number 19-2020, finally adopted on July 21st, 2020 by the Borough Council, Borough of Bloomingdale, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, to increase costs provided in NJSA 40A2-20 by $60,315.92 from $115,000 to $175,315.92.
Okay.
And the second and final for that bond ordinance will be scheduled for October 5th.
Okay. Introduction of ordinance number 22-2021, special assessments, Andrews Place. Motion on the floor.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bond ordinance providing for sidewalk improvements along the entire length of Andrew Place in and by the Borough of Bloomingdale, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, appropriating $160,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $152,000 bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof and the special assessment of the cost thereof. This will also be scheduled for second and final and adoption on October 5th.
The introduction of ordinance number 23-2021, amend Chapter 3, Police Regulations, noise. Have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
An ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 3, Police Regulations of the Code of the Borough of Bloomingdale. This will also be scheduled for October 5th, second and final reading and adoption.
Okay.
On that one there, Mayor, if adopted, the Board of Health will have to change one of their ordinances as well to coexist with the hours that these two ordinances were just changes.
Okay. Late public comment. Motion to open up late public comment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak? Okay. Motion to close.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We do have two matters of in executive session. That will require us to come out, right, Mike, and make a decision?
No, I don't believe we're gonna take action on either of them.
No?
Nope.
Okay. All right, then it'll be for discussion.
Yep.
All right. Again, 9/11 Candlelight Walk this Saturday, 7 PM. The September 21st meeting will be moved to the Fireman's Hall for a meeting and a special event for promotions, which will be a pretty big deal. It'll be a very light agenda. We have to do business, and then we will go into the special event, which we'll talk about.
John, did you put that on the calendar?
I didn't.
You
Let
asked
me-
Mike.
Hmm?
You asked Mike
I asked Mike,
for 9/21?
yes. No, on the calendar next door?
Yeah.
Yes, it is on the calendar.
Yeah, you asked
We used the
me.
calendar, they came at the calendar here. No, yes, it is on there. I talked to Mike that day, yes.
All right.
It's available, yeah, yes. Okay. And also the 17th, because at the county, it's Fireman's Convention, so the hall's open, so if they do the dedication that day, they want to have something possibly back at Fireman's Hall for the family. So we're all for that too. And the other thing that's going on, I should have mentioned earlier, you all probably received an email today from Bree regarding October 24th, which the WTB school is opening up their time capsule for the 50 years, which went pretty quick for me. That was the first graduating class out of that school, so,
Were you really?
yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Old
So,
man.
I'm an old man. So when I got that text, yes, I guess it was yesterday, I sent that to you.
She said she reached out to you, and then
Yeah.
I saw the message this
Yeah.
morning inviting council, so.
Yeah, so it's
And she told.
Maureen
me that-
Jacob, who used to be Maureen Dorr. She's a math teacher in the school system, and I know her for forever. So she sent me a couple chuckles yesterday while we were talking about it. So it was nice. So I'm looking forward to that.
And Drew, by the way, speaking of the hall, did you touch base with Mike about next year?
Not yet, no.
We're booking next year.
Okay,
Don't forget.
all right. I will make a note of that.
Okay? Okay, I need.
So I don't know if you have dates yet, so then I can give you a guesstimate for dates, or range. It's probably the best I can give is a range.
Okay.
But I'll at least do that.
It's better than nothing, right?
Yep.
Okay. Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved?
All in favor, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.